So I feel I owe you guys a video. I haven't done a video in a while, and I do realise that, but I've been really busy. I've gone back to work full time now as well, so making the videos are a lot harder for me. But a little update in the man cave, I've treated myself to a new toy. So basically, no, not Johnny 5, I've bought a new dyno. So obviously my old dyno had the death flywheel hanging off the side, and everyone used to comment about it, and it was just a basic inertia dyno. I didn't really want to upgrade the dyno, but this come up for the right price, so I just went ahead and, you know, treated myself. Treat yourself. So obviously my old dyno used to just have like a laptop up on the shelf. Sorry about the noise, by the way, it's absolutely hacking it down with rain outside. But my old dyno obviously was inertia, and it literally just had a little laptop sitting up on the side there, and it all worked through the laptop. This is a Dyno Dynamics. It's a 2-wheel drive chassis dyno. Can't remember what year it is, but it's a proper brake dyno now, and it's rated to like 1200 horsepower. So it's a lot more upmarket than the type of dyno I'm used to working with. And it's got this whole tower that comes with it as well. There's like all sorts of control boxes and stuff like that. And I've kind of got to teach myself how to use it, because I haven't really got a clue, if I'm honest. I've already got it hooked up to my old dyno screen up here, and I've done a little power run with Johnny 5. It's a bit wavy and a bit up and down, but again, I'm still getting used to it. But I am down here in my turbo van, and I'm very, very curious to see how much power my van makes on this dyno compared to my old dyno. So I finished it about, on the inertia dyno, it was 355 horsepower from memory. I'll have to go back and check the last video. This dyno, I feel it should make a bit more power on, hopefully, because this is a brake dyno, so it adds more load. And I know that I was running out of inertia on the old dyno. So basically, when it come off the dyno and I drove it home, I noticed that it was boosting a lot harder, and it's making a little bit more boost on the road than it was actually on the dyno, because the inertia one didn't add enough load. But where this is a brake dyno, so it's got a proper like eddy brake down there, so it proper like holds the car back, and it's fully adjustable. I'm hoping that with the extra load, it might spool a bit harder on the dyno and make a bit more power. So sorry if this is a little bit of a random boring video, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a quick tidy up, get Johnny 5 off the dyno, because I was just using that to sort of half teach myself, and then I'm going to put my van on the dyno, just wing it and see if we can do a power run. So yeah, let's crack on. So this is what it looks like without a car on it, obviously. I kept the back dyno chassis bed that we made for the old dyno, so front wheel drive cars still sit level when they're on it, because I mainly do a lot of front wheel drive stuff. But obviously if I need to do rear wheel drive stuff, it can kind of hang over the front there, because the cars have always got to point this way. But it's all right, I've got it all, obviously, as I said, rigged up to that screen up there. It's got a neat little hand controller as well. Not wireless, but wired, but does the job, so I can adjust load and, you know, ramp rates and stuff like that. I can lock the roller as well with that button there. So that stops the front roller from turning, so I can get in and out easier, which is quite neat. So yeah, I've literally had a quick little sweep up. I'm just going to go empty the bins, and then I'm going to put the van on. So, been prattling around for a bit. Managed to get the van on the dyno. Still using my little pathetic small fan. I have, however, got given this with the dyno. I can't use this yet because this is like 3-phase, so this is like a bad boy fan. Obviously there's actually 2 fans in one. So like one's designed to blow into the actual front of the car, and then that one, I'm assuming when the bonnet's open, it sort of blows under the bonnet or over the top of the engine. This dyno chassis was in the ground, so that's why this is so low. Where I've mounted it above ground, I'm probably gonna have to cut all that off and like extend it up a little bit higher, but you know, that's a job for another day. So for now, as I haven't got a 3-phase plug, I'm just gonna use this. So to hold it on the dyno, I've got the chocks at the back, and then I've got the 2 side straps to stop it going from side to side. Obviously I've got the handbrake on. And this type of dyno has also got what's called a traction bar. Probably should have showed you before I propped all the fan up. But this bar here goes across and under and hooks onto the front of the dyno, and then the straps go up and over the bottom arms onto the back of the chassis. And when you tighten this down, it actually pulls the wheels down into the front roller. So the harder it tries to pull out the dyno, the harder it pulls into the rollers, so it gets better traction apparently. So I'm going to figure about now and try and calibrate the van to the dyno and get the gear ratio calculator right for RPM, and then I'll come back to you and see how we get on. So I've been frigging about with the dyno a bit, and been struggling to understand the gear ratio calculator because it's not something that I'm used to. but I've kind of got the tacho to mile per hour to RPM ratio about right, and now when I'm in 4th gear it matches RPM, so hopefully do a power run now and it might work, so wish me luck. So, that kind of worked. 331 horsepower at 150 mile an hour, so the dyno stopped the run. Because I tried it in 4th gear, and obviously I've got diesel ratios, and this dyno doesn't go over 150 mile an hour. So, I need to recalculate RPM again, and do it in 3rd. Yeah. Right, let's try again. 3rd gear now. So I still need a lot of practice with this dyno. So obviously my van made 360 horsepower on my old dyno, and on this dyno it makes 306 horsepower. So I know these dynos are renowned for being heartbreakers, and they're kind of living up to their name, because it's just broke my heart a bit actually. I do feel, it's going to sound like I'm making up an excuse here, but I do feel that I need to look at my van a bit, or log boost pressure, because that's exactly the same power that my van makes on actuator pressure. So I'm thinking maybe that my boost controller ain't working, because it does feel slightly on the slow side. I'm not just making this up just because I've had my heart broken. I know everyone's got an excuse when their vehicle don't make the power that they claim, but I probably just need to learn how to work the dyno properly as well. Actually, the van, I know my luck, there's probably something wrong with the van and it's just not going to make the numbers ever again. But yeah, so I'm trying to get used to working all this old software, like compared to the sports devices software I was using. And you can do a lot of scaling, so you can scale like the sides of the graph for like horsepower. So you do that one, so you can do it 0 to 100, 0 to 250. So if I change that, obviously my graph then goes off the Richter. So when I was first in a power run, I was really confused, and then I worked out how to get it into my power range. I can press down and I can change RPM from like 0 to 8,000 or 0 to 6,000. So now you can see my graph disappears. Obviously there's user defined as well, so I can change all that. Still trying to learn, but yeah, this is quite a good dyno. I've just got to learn how to use it. So that's about it for this little mini video. It's a Sunday, I've probably upset some people. Now I'm going home. So yeah, cheers guys, till next time. I promise I'll do something a bit better next time. Yeah, bye.